live chat. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. And going live on LinkedIn. Go live. Ooh, add me to the stage. Now I could go live. Hey, y'all. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Let's see. Hey. No, I'm on time. 5 o'clock. Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock your time. Happy Monday. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see. Okay, yes, I'm on live. I want to expand the comments so I can see the comments as well. All right, y'all. Welcome in. Happy Monday. My name is Shanti Refuge. I am a master certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author. And this is my weekly live. I didn't go live Thursday or Friday of last week because the birthday shenanigans had began, and I was here for them all. Plus, I had to support my baby. Hey, Lil Ma, welcome in. Happy Monday. I was just in a explain birthday festivities began, and I had to go support my boo. So that's what that was. That's why I wasn't on Thursday or Friday, but I am back. My birthday was wonderful. I think this year was the best birthday I have had in a very, very, very long time. And so grateful. Shout out to my bae for making my day, my weekend. What message? I'm not sending you a t-shirt, but you can go buy one on my website. I would love to send you one. Oh yes, I did see your birthday message that you left me in my DM, and I did reply. I said thank you. Yes, I saw it. Thank you so much for the birthday shout out. I appreciate all of you who text me, DM me, call me, sent me monies. I love that. Thank you so much. It was so well received. So grateful that you took the time out to tell me happy birthday. So now let's get into what we're getting into today because I have to get ready for my one-on-one at 6 o'clock. So I want to make sure that I pour into you all before that. So this week we are focusing. Oh, hold on. Oh, there you go. Instagram was trying to get me. Oh, that's all right. I received your message and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, welcome back. Happy Monday. As I said, if you see me looking at different cameras, that is because I'm on different platforms. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube all at the same time. So, if you are watching me live, thank you. I appreciate it. You will be able to watch the replay. If you're not able to catch it all, the replay will be shown on my YouTube channel. I am at Shanti Refuge Journals on YouTube as well. Doop. Thank you. Let me move it out the way because it's distracting me. Whoop. That ain't what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Okay, let's leave it there. Doop. Is it gonna let me do that? It asked me to send something, and when I tried, it said not approved. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, before we begin, I want you to take a big deep breath because today we're going to talk about one of those conversations that might hit a little hard, especially on a Monday. This isn't about we're talking about boundaries with ourselves. And this is not about boundaries you need with other people. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the boundaries that you keep breaking with yourself. Or do you even have any boundaries with yourself? Boundaries aren't just for other people. I hope that you have not been miseducated in that. Boundary. Hey, boo. Hey. Shout out to my Sam, Miss Sexy Sam. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, boo. Hey. We're talking about boundaries that we keep breaking with ourselves. So if you are new here, if you just popped in, my name is Shanti Refuge. Thank you for watching. February is my birthday month. And I have set a goal to sell 100 copies of my book called Quiet is Kept. If you have not gotten your copy, go and get it. It is called Quiet is Kept. It is available in my TikTok shop, my Instagram store, my Facebook store, or you could go to shantirefugejournals.com and get the book. So I am gonna be saying it a whole bunch of times before the 28th gets here. Um, and the reason why I chose 100 is because this work deserves to be in the hands of people who are ready to tell the truth. And a lot of times, some of us need permission to tell our truth. So through my book, I tell the truth. And some of y'all gonna be clutching your pearls when you read or have questions like, wait a minute, I have questions. As so many who have already read it has. And that is perfectly fine. But I want to put myself out there in a way to make others feel safe to tell their story. Because until you admit what's happening and start telling the truth, what's happening in your life, you will stay stuck. Healing begins with honesty. So if you are ready to start your healing journey and don't quite know how to, go ahead and get my book, Quiet is Kept. If you're not a reader, that is fine. Gift it to someone. Gift it. Don't just buy it to be buying it. That's not what I want. I want you to buy it to read it so you can learn, heal, and grow from it. And then pass it on to someone else who also needs it. So that is my goal, to sell 100 copies this month. And if you order through my website, shantirefugejournals.com, there is free shipping. So know that. Free shipping when you order directly from my website. Now, if you order from somewhere else other than Shanti Refuge Journals, then you will have to pay shipping. I do not reimburse. So please go to my website, shantirefugejournals.com, and get the book, Quiet is Kept, and you will get free shipping. Hey, honey, welcome back. Happy Monday. So let's connect the dots. Last week, when I started off, we talked about how January showed us the truth. And then we talked about the cost of being a strong one. Thank you. I appreciate you. And then we looked at how we treat ourselves in private. That was the last thing we talked about before I went on my birthday hiatus. I'm back now. So today we're going to talk about what happens after you become aware. What happens then? But you still override yourself anyway. That's where self-boundary breaking lives. So this is the part where I'm gonna be honest and y'all gonna get quiet because y'all ain't gonna want to admit this, but that's okay. Self boundary breaking. Let me tell you what it looks like. Self boundary breaking looks like saying that you're tired, but you're showing up and doing whatever you're doing anyway. So if you're too tired to cook, no, you're too tired to cook, and I'm using myself as an example for this, and went and go and cook, your food gonna be nasty, ain't it, babe? So, or knowing that you need rest but choosing productivity, knowing you need to lay down somewhere, but something inside of you is choosing to be productive. I know somebody else in this room who doing that, or promising yourself that you'll slow down, and you might do it for a couple of days and then you get right back to speeding it back up, or feeling something in your body and talking yourself out of it, trying to tell your body that's not what you feeling. You hear yourself loud and clear, but you're not honoring yourself. And that's where the problem lies. And let me say this plainly, that is not discipline. You thinking that you're pushing through, you go and cook knowing you're tired, you keep working knowing you're tired, or that's not discipline. That is self-abandonment. You're abandoning yourself. Now let me tell you why we abandon ourselves. There could be a lot of reasons, but a lot of us don't keep boundaries with ourselves because somewhere along the way we learned that, number one, our needs weren't important. I could go back to childhood and tell you that. As a child, most of us were told that our needs weren't important. Like, we didn't have no needs. Your lights on, you're fed, you're clothed, you're clean. You don't need nothing else. That started in childhood. Or that our emotions were inconvenient. We're not allowed to have emotions. You got stuff to do. Put your emotions to the side. You got people to serve. You got people to help. That sound familiar? Or our limits were negotiable. We know what our limits are, but we negotiate our limits for other people to please other people. Or our worth was tied to output. So now all we do is gaslight ourselves before anyone else gets the chance. People love to gaslight, but we're doing it to ourselves when we're abandoning our needs. We're abandoning, we don't keep boundaries with ourselves. So you don't wait for permission. You don't wait for clarity. You override yourself and you call it being strong. And that's not being strong. That's conditioning. Because we don't override ourselves and then turn around and say, oh, I'm a strong one. I'm a strong black woman. I'm a strong this and strong that. But you're overriding yourself. You're not strong at all. That's not being strong. So here's the part that most people won't say out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud. You teach yourself that every time you cross your own boundary, this is what you're doing. You are teaching yourself that you are not safe with you. How do you expect other people to be safe with you if you're not safe with yourself? And vice versa. So, and then we weaken our self-trust. Every time we cross our own boundary, we're weakening our self-trust, and we increase resentment, or we disconnect from our intuition. Our intuition is telling us one thing, but we're not trying to hear that. We focus on what we see in front of our face. So we're disconnected. And then you have nerve to ask, why don't you trust yourself? Why don't I trust myself? Or why do I feel numb? Why do I feel disconnected? Because you keep telling yourself that you don't matter. You're not saying I don't matter, but you're showing yourself you don't matter through your actions, through you pushing through, going do this thing, knowing you're tired, or saying yes when you really want to say no, or your body is telling you, girl, go do this, but your mind is saying no, I have to do this, and this. That's why. So let me just tell you this. This is not a character flaw. It has nothing to do with your character. This is a pattern that can be unlearned. Just as quickly as you learn that pattern, you can unlearn it. So, ready for the journal prompt? I only got one because it's deep. Of course, you can go back on my YouTube channel and get the journal prompt. It's gonna be available there on the replay for the replay. So the journal prompt is, where do I regularly cross my own boundaries, and what am I afraid will happen if I stop? Be honest with yourself. It doesn't have to be a dissertation. Just be honest and answer the question. It don't have to be polished. Don't worry about the grammar or what it looks like or what it reads like. Just be real with that answer. Where do I regularly cross my own boundaries, and what am I afraid will happen if I stop? I can answer this one, and I'm going to be very transparent. That night when I was tired, but I wanted to cook anyway, I didn't want to cook for myself. I wanted to cook for my partner. And my mind was saying, girl, you better go cook, because if you don't, she going to get mad. And I didn't want her to be mad. So I went and cooked tired. But the end result was the food didn't taste good. So what we ended up doing? Eating pizza? Right. We ended up getting pizza. So, and if I would have listened to my first mind, I would have just went and got the pizza. I would have had the pizza delivered. We still ate. I wouldn't have to perform. I didn't have to perform. She didn't care if I cooked or not. It was me that was adamant about cooking. And so I did. I betrayed myself and crossed my own boundary by cooking when I know I didn't feel like it. And that's something I had to take accountability for. And the proof showed in my food, in the quality of my food. My baby said, I had to question if you still love me. And I never, ever want that to come across in my food because I pour love into my food, especially when I've gotten my love for cooking back. I had stopped cooking for a long time. And then I got my joy for cooking back. So, yes, I want you to taste, feel. I want all forms of love to embody you when you are eating my food. So, for me to put something out that I didn't love and to get it was like a mirror for me. And I said, okay, I won't do that again. If I don't feel like cooking, I'm not gonna cook, right? So answer that question. Where do I regularly cross my own boundaries, and what am I afraid will happen if I stop? So now I want to get into my book, Quiet as Kept. I have a lot of, I always say, get the book, get the book, get the book, but I never tell you why I wrote the book. So I'm going to get a little more transparent. The book is very transparent, very, if you haven't read it. But it is available on my website, shantirefugejournals.com. And I wrote it because I kept watching people, especially Black women, carry things quietly that were destroying them privately. So whether it was family stuff, relationship trauma, emotional neglect, unspoken grief, unprocessed pain, those are a lot of things that we carry and we don't talk about it. We were told not to talk about it. I grew up in the house, what goes on in the house stays in the house. Don't be telling nobody your business, blah blah blah. So where else was I gonna keep it? I kept it here and in here until my body said, oh no, that's too much for us to carry. You need to let this go. And I didn't intend on writing a book at all. Absolutely not. The only thing I intended on doing was making guided journals, because guided journals were the guided journaling was introduced to me by my therapist, and it worked for me. It worked tremendously for me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna start a business, doing guided journaling. That's all I intended on doing. I did not intend on putting all my business out there. But now, shit, I don't care. I'll tell you. I'm an open book. If any part of my past and how I got through it will help you to heal, baby, I will tell it over and over again so you will know you are not alone. It's not just you. You know, there's healing in community. And that's why I wrote and everything I just named. I talk about family stuff. I talk about relationship trauma, giving and receiving relationship trauma. I talk about, grief that I didn't talk about, grieving the dead, grieving the living. I talk about unprocessed pain because I didn't know how to process it during that time. And basically, my book is derived of all the things that we don't talk about, but we live with every day. So I wrote it because I needed a place where I didn't have to rush my truth or, soften it, or to justify it. Everything in this book, 90% of it are my journal entries from when I was in therapy. So I took my journals and made a book out of it. Simple as that. To help somebody else. When I first wrote it, it was very, very, very triggering for me. It took me a year to write the book. Even though I had the journal entries right there in my face, but what it made me do was go back and look at myself then versus the person I was at that time when I was getting ready to write this book. And I wrote this book for the version of me who didn't know yet that she was allowed to choose herself. I didn't know that. I thought it was wrong to choose myself. I thought it was safe or, not safe to choose myself. I thought it was, selfish, like in an arrogant, negative way. But it's not. It is not. So that's why, this month being my birthday month, I decided to have a goal of, selling 100 copies because I want people to use this book as an invitation to stop suffering in silence like I did. I definitely suffered in silence. A lot of things that I didn't have to because I didn't know that I didn't have to. I thought that that's what you were supposed to do, bury it deep and keep moving. You got shit to do. You got kids to take care of. You got a family. You got this. You got that. You got a job. Yeah. So that is why I wrote the book. And now I am asking, if any of my lives, the replays have been speaking to you, baby, go get this book because it's going to really speak to you. And not get it just to support. Like I said before, I don't need your support like that. I want you to buy the book and read it, learn from it, heal through it, and then help somebody else do the same thing. That's what I want. So if you're not a book reader, that is perfectly fine. Thank you. I appreciate you. If you're not a book reader, that is fine. Buy it for somebody else. Gift it to somebody who you know will need it, who needs it. You can't keep all of those things inside. You have to let them out. You have to express yourself in some safe way, heavy on the safe way. And me writing my book was a way that I did it. And so that's why, my goal, 100 copies for February. By the 28th, I'm going to be on here on my 28th live saying, I did it, y'all. I sold 100 copies of Quiet as Kept. So this is what the book looks like. This is me. That's me on the cover. That's me when I was 3 years old. That's the earliest remembrance I have. So, and I talk about all of it. I talk about my childhood. I talk about child abuse. I talk about being a teen mom. You've been in the 30 minutes already? Mm-hmm. How you feel? Did you take a nap? No. You need to take a nap. What else I talk about? I talk about how not a good person I was. I used to not be a good person. Like I used to wake up in the morning happy to plan how I was going to make somebody mad that day. What can I do to piss somebody off today? That's what I used to say when I woke up in the morning. And you'll see that in this book. But that's not her. The person who made all these journal entries, I'm not her anymore. The person who put the journal entries together to make this book, I am not her anymore. I have elevated. But this book is always a reference. It is a healing tool for those who are going through their healing journey. Absolutely is. And also you can connect with me through, you're connecting with me now. Like y'all get free coaching Monday through Friday. Well, at least Monday through Wednesday when I decide to show up. I'm going to do better about going live. I have to be me. And, my birthday was a national holiday and I'm still celebrating it. But, I also have guided journals. Whatever topic you want to talk about, go look at my collection. I'm sure it's there. Self-love, self-awareness, relationships, breaking up, getting back to you after a relationship, a prayer. What else? You name it, I got it. Being tired, unpacking emotional baggage. I have a journal for it. And speaking of, let's say the self-love one. If you are self-esteem, let's talk about that one. That was one of my first guided journals that I made about self-esteem, because at the time I didn't know that I did not have good self-esteem. I didn't have anything. I didn't have good self-esteem, self-worth. I didn't value myself. I didn't have any boundaries. So I did whatever and let people do whatever because I didn't know any better. But once I started creating these tools, and started using them, because don't get it twisted, these journals, guided journals that I made, these are all based off of my real life events. So I'm tired as fuck, based off my real life event. The cover has changed, but the title is still the same if you go into my collection and see what I have. But, this one is for stressed out, overwhelmed, feeling unappreciated. You have prompts in here to help you through that, to heal through that, to name it, acknowledge it. I have self-care exercises in here. I have affirmations in here. I'm big on affirmations. So, here's a perfect one. I release the need to dwell on the past. Perfect affirmation. I release the need to dwell on the past. I release the need to dwell on the past. You can go back and look at your past, but you can't dwell on it, because when you dwell on it, you get stuck. And that's not the purpose. The purpose of going back to look to see the past you, to read about the past you, is to see how much you have grown, see how much you have changed. I promise you, when I first started journaling back in 2018, because my therapist made me, when I go back and look at those old journal entries, I cannot tell that person was me. Like, who is that writing it? My handwriting was different. My choice of words were different. Everything is different. And it's amazing that you get to keep your guided journal and see how you've grown. Because it's just like with losing weight. You know how when we go on a diet and the scale says we lost 5 pounds, but we can't tell by looking at ourselves. But it takes somebody else to say, "Dang, girl, you done lost a little weight." That's what the healing process is also like. Start your healing journey and healing community, not by yourself. I always have to tell people, don't try to do it by yourself because you probably will make it worse. Absolutely will probably make it worse if you try to do it by yourself. And what your community can look like, your community can look like a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. You can have one of the three. Let's say therapist. You can have your therapist. You can have a therapist and a coach. You can have a therapist, a coach, and a counselor, and a support group. You can have all of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's you healing and community, healing around the right people. That's going to help you to continue to heal, to elevate, so you can go higher. Because as long as you're alive, you can go higher, as high as you want to go, not because somebody's telling you what you need to do. So that is all I have for today. Oh, wait, no, I'm lying. I just dropped my latest episode of the Quiet as Kept podcast. We're talking about boundaries in that too. So go to anywhere you listen to your podcast, go and follow the Quiet as Kept podcast by Shanti Refuge, and you'll have me there. And it's audio only. I chose to do audio only because I want people to hear what I'm saying, actually hear what I'm saying, if that makes sense. So, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about what choosing yourself actually looks like moving forward. I'm going to give you some great examples of what choosing yourself looks like. So, it's going to be same honesty, not pretending. And we're going to do the same depth, no pretending. So now, before I get off, I got to get ready for my mothering in the dark. So let me talk about that real quick. On every Monday, I hold a group session called Mothering in the Dark. Mothering in the Dark is a community of mothers who are estranged from their adult children, whether the child estranged from the mom or whether the mom estranged from the child. Don't matter. We don't judge. We don't criticize. We definitely have accountability. We hold ourselves accountable. We heal without the expectation of reconciling. I always make that clear in my groups. I'm not here to tell you, yes, I can guarantee your child will want to talk to you again. I'd be lying if I said that. Because what reconciliation takes is healing on both sides. I currently have a client who has been doing the healing work with me almost a year now. Almost a year. And she has been putting in the work. She has been doing her thing. Mothering in the Dark is going to be 1 year old. 1 year old in March. She's been with me since then, so almost a year. And while she's doing her journey, we've learned that her child isn't interested in her and reconciling. And I have to tell her that is okay. That's not the expectation. The expectation is for you to hold yourself accountable, you to heal, you to do the work. And when they are ready, and when I say ready, I mean they are also doing the healing work. It takes both sides to do the healing work in order for y'all to come together to reconcile. But in the meantime, I hold a safe space. Any space I hold is safe because I want you to focus on you, not what you did, who you were, what happened. That's not the focus. The focus is healing, learning, growing. So you will know what happened and how not to let it happen again, how to maintain, or how to continue on with your life, even if your child isn't in your life. I do those things. Why? Because I've been on both sides of estrangement. I have estranged from my mom. I have estranged from my child, and I've had a child estranged from me. But we're all back talking now. But I don't guarantee that with everybody. It takes healing and acceptance on both sides for that to come true. So let me go get ready for that. And I will see you all on tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Remember to go and follow me on my social medias. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. Shanti Refuge Journals, Shanti Journal Bay. Go to my website, shantirefugejournals.com, where you can learn more about me, the services I provide. Um, that's what I'm about to do too. I need to go and um, open up my one on ones for this week. This week is a love week. And being the lover girl that I am, I celebrate Valentine's Day damn near every day. And it really has been every day since I got my boo. Hi, babe. I love you, babe. But Saturday is Valentine's Day. That's my most favorite day of the year. Absolute favorite day of the year. So let me set my schedule. I do one-on-ones through Sharewell. They are at a crazy discounted rate. I suggest y'all go in there and see what that's about, because I'm setting my schedule now. Friday and Saturday, no. Okay, all right. Save availability. I have set my availability for the week starting on Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, I do have availability. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining. For one-on-ones with me through Sharewell is $25. Y'all spend $25 on lunch and be hungry 2 hours later. Come and get one-on-one support from me through the Sharewell platform. To find it, just go to my link in my bio, TikTok link in my bio, or comment the word Sharewell, SHAREWELL. Comment that word, TikTok, Instagram, and I will send you the link directly. So thank you all for joining me. It has been great. I will be back later. Talk to y'all soon. And thank you for watching. All right, that was Facebook. Now, see you later, YouTube.